Peace, peace. We live. Gonna wait for a few more people to get up in here. Of course, if you haven't already, share this, send this out. Two, three people who need to know this information. What is your human design? So it's been a minute. This is like the first. Well, this is the very first live that we're doing. Sunday Vibes Live. It's your boy Keith Terrell, and what I want to do with these is going to be a little bit less informal. We're not going to be in a restaurant setting. It's going to be take place wherever I'm at in the world right now. I happen to be back in my hometown, LA, and so each Sunday, depending on how often I do this, I'm going to bring in a guest, and we're just going to deep dive into one subject. And so today is going to be all things human design. What is human design? Why is it important for you to know what yours is and how this can help you out, like in life, relationships, and all of the above. So, going to dive in. If you have your human design chart, bring that. We got a master teacher today that can answer any of your questions. And yeah, just give some feedback on one of these tools that's available to us and how we can just better our lives and walk more aligned. So I think my guest is ready. I'm gonna bring him on stage. Peace. Oh yeah.
Peace. What's happening? What's happening? How you feeling, brother?
Ah man, I am amazing. It's a beautiful day in LA. It's like 80 something degrees. As Nipsey would say, it's time to put some jet skis in the lake. But you know, I'm in on the lake today.
That's what's up. That's what's up. It's a little breezy over here in Bali today, but I guess I'm just we on an island. So you've been here. Sometimes it's like hot. Well, I wouldn't say that. I don't know if I've ever seen it like too much over low 90s, but right now it's definitely an 80s day too. So 85. Sun will be out probably another hour or so.
Okay. What time is it out there right now?
It is 8:03 in the morning.
In the morning. Okay, that's what's up. 5:03 p.m. here in LA. And
I'm
so,
rocking my human design for the people shirt. You know what I'm saying? It's the year of the dragon. You know what I'm saying? So I'm locked and loaded today. Locked and loaded.
yeah, we're gonna dive into that. So, quick introduction on Sifu Oyi-san. We actually met back in January when I was in Bali, and I ended up at this facility called the what's the name of that place we were at? The Healing Unified School of Unified Healing, something like that. And somebody just brought me there on a whim that day, and I was attempting to film some stuff, and Oyi walked in with his camera and he was filming, and we just got to talking and found out, like, at the time I was living in Atlanta. He had just moved from Atlanta. And so then that sparked a conversation. And, before you know it, it was like, oh, this is the real reason why I'm here in Bali. Like, he just dropped a lot of jewels. And over time, we've developed this relationship where we share so much, human design being one of the things. And I had heard about human design, I believe, like the year before for the first time. But if you remember, I wasn't really into it when you told me about it. I was more on Gene Keys, and I was just like, I'm not really. It seems pretty basic until you sent me that circuitry book. But we're gonna dive into all of that. For y'all who don't know who Oyi Sun is, he is a mycologist. He is an astrologer. He's a master strategist, human design reader, a martial artist, so many more things. I'm not even doing you justice of introducing you, Oyi. So go on and give the people a quick introduction of who you are.
Oh, I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. That's it. I am a black man on my healing journey who has tried a lot of things. I am a 3-5 four motor generator, emotional generator. I've been studying astrology for around 22, 23 years. I've been teaching astrology since 2013, professional astrologer since 2008, and not professional where you like pull up the chart and you read it from the screen to someone. That's not a professional. Okay, I just wanted to say that.
Hmm.
Then I got into the martial arts, and I got into the I Ching. And the I Ching, before I got into the divination side of it, there's a martial arts called Bagua. There's three internal martial arts: Tai Chi, Bagua, and Shin Yi. And Bagua is based on the 8 guas that make up the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching. And in 2010, a very dear friend of mine, we was cool then, but now he's like the big homie, like he got teacher status. He came to me with human design. And I was just like, man, I already know astrology, man. I already know astrology. But I see this I Ching stuff in here. Y'all just trying to jack. And the crazy part is I've been saying this recently, like most of my greatest teachers, when I first meet them, I be hating on them. I don't know what that's about, but I don't do that no more. That's
Yeah.
when I was young. I was young and crazy, right? Thought I knew everything. Now I know I don't know too much. And he gave me all this human design information, but I never touched it for 7 years. So
Mm.
from 2007 to 2000, no, from 2010 to 2017, I had this vast library. I mean, he sent me the whole kitchen sink. And I was just like, I got astrology. And yeah, I'm one of the nicest in astrology. I ain't gonna front. And in 2017, one night, I was just like, man, let me just sit down and be serious for like, a week. And that's really what happened. I listened to this recording about 1:30 in the morning. I was in Atlanta, and they gave this challenge out called the 7-day challenge in human design. So if anybody wants to start human design, there's a 7-day challenge. And whatever your type is, you need to respond to people with your strategy. So mine is uh-huh and uh-uh. So I was like, I can do that. For 7 days, all you want me to do is just respond to people with uh-huh or uh-uh. And then after that, I can like answer a question. So if you say, do you have on a red shirt? Uh-huh, I have on a red shirt. Uh, do you have perfect vision? Uh-uh, I wear glasses, right? So you're answering from the gut versus the mind. I was like, this is easy. And that was my start. And there's other stories to go around with that. And I got
Okay.
the yeah, go ahead.
So people are going to know, what does that mean? So just starting off, can you break down what is human design?
Human design is a combination of astrology, I Ching, Kabbalah, and like a little bit of spiral dynamics and a new 9 chakra energy system. So I know you know about yoga, and everybody looks at the yoga charts and they look and they see 7 centers. You got all the bracelets, you got all the, oh, look at this, look at this. But a human being evolves while they've been on planet Earth. We used to have 5 energy centers. When you were in the womb, you had 1 or 2 energy centers. Then we evolved to 7 energy centers. And when that happened, then we had books and publication. So in the
Mhm.
West, we don't know much about energy centers like they do in India and China. So we just go crazy when we see new information. And they've been making money off of us telling us about 7 chakras, right?
Right.
But now there's been an evolution and there's 2 more. So that's the first thing I guess we shocking your audience with is there is now 9 energy centers, not just your 7 basics. Now, this is not like the ones that go up into the astral plane. Like you do have way more than that. I'm just talking about inside the body, it has went from 7 to 9.
So
And
what are those 2 new chakras? And you said this is something that evolved. At what
the
point did
G
this happen?
center, the G center, they've been renamed to the G center, which is like your identity, right? And then the ego center. Well, no, the ego center is like formerly known as the heart center, right? And then the spleen. So there was no spleen energy center before, and there was no G center before. So now instead of it running directly down the middle, it is one over to the left and one over to and then one in the middle. So I was trying to share the screen so they can see like the 9 centers here. So this is this one in the center, the yellow one. This is the G center, and then over on this side is the spleen.
And so right? We're sharing this screen for somebody who's never seen this before. What exactly are we looking at right now?
You are looking at a human design chart. You are looking at a human design chart, and you're looking at, this is the head, this is the ajna, which is the third eye. This one is the throat. This is the G center. This is the sacral. 70% of people have a defined sacral. So if it's colored in, this means that it's defined. If it's not colored in, it's undefined, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. You get a lot of wisdom. You get a lot of wisdom when it, because I know like Black people will be like, I want all 9, I want everything. No, there's nothing wrong with you. That's the first thing human design lets you know, is there's nothing wrong with you. That's what I want to express 10 times. When you look at this chart, it's perfect. I can pull up 100 charts. They're all perfect, right? And then on this side is your emotions, the solar plexus. And here is the root center, right? And then here's yours. I know you sent it to me earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 defined centers. You have the spleen defined, the sacral, and the root. And then that's why you're so wise, is because you have so many undefined centers. But there are warnings that come.
Let's break down what does that mean to have a defined center and an undefined center? Because I know a lot of people are tuning in and they've never heard of any of this stuff before.
Gotcha. So think of an undefined center as a receptacle in the wall. What do you do? What does the receptacle in the wall do? Receives.
Right.
No, it receives. It receives. And then the defined center, if it's colored in, what does a plug do? It influences. So if it's colored in, you're doing the influencing, you're the plug. If it's undefined, you are being influenced. You are open to being influenced. And it's not bad or good. Now, if you don't know that you're being influenced, then it could be a little disagreeable. But it doesn't mean, oh, let me go. I just want to be the influencer. So like today, a lot of people are on Instagram and you got a lot of followers. And I just want to say, like, the word influencer is definitely being misused. So today we want to drop some right knowledge today around what is defined and what is undefined.
Right. So now looking at this chart right here, is this mine that you have pulled up, or this is the other one?
See the difference. So now this is yours.
Okay. And so break down what these numbers mean and the lines, and how with me knowing that, I can best utilize that to, basically maximize the benefits of knowing this system.
In order for me to do that, I'm going to have to show you this first.
Okay.
Okay. And really the lines relate to planets. So everyone has seen an astrology chart, right? So remember, human design is part astrology. So you have planets, right? So like this is Mercury, this is Venus, this is the sun, this is Jupiter. So when you go back over to the human design, you'll see these same planets. There's Jupiter, there's the moon, there's Pluto, there's the south node, right? Here's Leo, here's Virgo, right? But this, and then outside is the I Ching. So wherever you have a planet at, you're also going to have an I Ching hexagram, a hexagram. And so I need to show them what the hexagram key looks like. So this is a hexagram key from the I Ching, right? This is a, come on, baby. This is a hexagram key, 64 hexagrams. This is a 5,000-year-old divination system. You can do a spiritual MRI on somebody. You can tell the future. You can check somebody out for relationships, all of that. So I don't normally show people this one, but I had to because you were asking me about these lines.
Mm-hmm.
So this line is the 12th line. It's a gate. So this 12th gate is representing Venus. Even it says personality Venus right here. And it's in the 12th gate. So the planet Venus, a lot of people are like, ooh, I got Venus in Gemini. That's me. I have Venus in Gemini. But I also need to say that everything that's in black, because you have two Venuses, you have a black Venus and a red Venus. The red Venus, or everything on the left that's red, is 88 days before you were born. And the black Venus is the day you were born. So think of the black as like your natal chart, and think of the red as the chart that was 88 days before you were born. So some of the lines are red and some of the lines are black. And so the best way for this one is if we look at, let's say you live in Atlanta and you know you've had to ride the MARTA map, right? The MARTA map for Atlanta. And some lines you will see are above ground, which is 285. 285, I-75, think of those as the black lines, things that are obvious. The red, orange, and blue, the subway runs underground. The subway runs underground. So think of the black lines as the highways and the red lines as underground. Underground lines is like kind of your unconscious and subconscious and the talents, and other people normally can see these before you see them. The black lines is who you project that you are. We call these personality. So you say, oh, I'm this. I got Mars here, and I got Mars in Gemini. That's your personality. I got Venus in Gemini. That you're talking about your personality. But when someone says, oh, you're really committed. I think you're really committed. This is the 29th gate. This is something that I probably don't feel confident in. I'm like, man, I got to work on my commitment. I got to be more committed. I got to be more disciplined. I procrastinate. And other people are like, man, you ain't no procrastinator. So the red lines are normally what other people see in you. And when I get into a human design reading, it's very important to like show people their red lines along with their black lines. You have this 5818. It's a whole channel, and that's when you said I gave you the book called Circuitry. When an entire when you go from one number all the way to another number, look at that like a jump rope, right? It's an energy channel. It's an energy channel. And as I told you, the song, don't go chasing waterfalls. Listen to the rivers and the streams that you're used to. I help people focus on the gifts that they have. So you have three channels, the 3457, the 1858, the 5432. You're good at a lot of things, but like this is a part of your genius. And billionaires use astrology. Millionaires use accountants. So I want you to be a genius. You don't have to master 99 things. You got these three things on here that you came into the world with that the Most High said you are already great at. This is why I said there's nothing to fix. Yeah, you got 6 empty centers, be aware of that, but there's nothing wrong with you. How do we get into these channels and start making it pop off for you?
So looking at my chart with those defined channels and gifts, what are those? Because I'm still learning this whole tool system as well. You turned me on to something else that I've been pretty much studying since I got back to LA, which is the Destiny cards. And that's a whole nother thing that we got to come back for and dive into. But with these three, what are those?
Well, I don't have. That's why I gave you the circuitry book. So now I'm like, "Where's the pop quiz at, brother?" I gave you the circuitry book about 4 months ago. You supposed to go in and look up these channels and say, "Hey, this channel means this." So like, we will take up a lot of time
Well, yeah.
telling you,
So yeah. So to
explain.
not go over time, is more so to give the understanding of what those mean. So maybe you can go to your chart and the defined channels you have, break down what those mean.
I'll just do one of them,
Okay.
right? And I'll give you. And every gift got a curse in it. That's what Jay-Z said. Jay-Z was like, it's the gift and the curse. So I have this full channel. It's called the channel of recognition, but
Mm-hmm.
it's also an emotional channel, right? It has clinging fire and it also has the gate of contraction, right? So both of these channels make up this jump rope. So I have a gift of experiencing everything through my emotions. Everything that I learn it. Even when I learn astrology or human design, I'm going to learn it emotionally. When I get into a relationship with a person, I'm going to experience things through my emotions. It's a gift and a curse. It's a curse because I wasn't aware of it. I'd rather read books. So this is why a lot of people say, "Oh, what book can you suggest?" Well, maybe you're not a person that learns through books like that. A lot of people think that I can just read a book. That's why I always say, get you a teacher. Get you a teacher, even if they raggedy, because one teacher will lead you to another, will lead you to another, will lead you to another, right? I'm here to give you the fundamentals. So when I turn you on to another teacher, you will be even more prepared. This is a channel of community. So, but not the collective. So I used to be like trying to do things for the world. I'm gonna just be honest. Like I've been Black Panther, Pan Africanism, this whole I love my people, 5% nation of gods and earths, black man is God over the earth, all of that. But
Mm-hmm.
that was rhetoric that did not fit my chart. I'm a tribal dude. This gift is me and my tribe. Like if I was in LA or something, and if I was raised in Compton, I'd be in a gang 1,000%. And I'd be like the leader of a gang, or I'd be like one of the soldiers, and I'd be wearing my colors and I wouldn't give a flippity flop. I'm happy that the tribe that I rock with now is more of a spiritual tribe, a money tribe. Like if we get money, or like I'm in the tribe now of protect the children. Big shouts out to Kevin Gates. He got a song called Protect the Children. I play that like a million times. Like that's my tribe. If you are standing up for the kids, that's how you can be a part of my tribe. So knowing these channels, and each one of them, like I give people a brief overview, but that's why I give the person that circuitry book immediately. So if you don't mind, I just want to show people the cover of the book, so they
Indeed.
want to go grab it. You know what I'm saying? So I love Kindle, and this is it right here. Don't y'all be trying to peek my whole library now. Don't be trying to peek the whole situation. Nah, it's cool. So human design circuitry. Let me find the cover. That's it right there. So
Yep.
human design circuitry. If I was to start over, well, not start over. You asked me what was the first book, and this was the book that I gave you. And I was just like, I wish somebody would have gave me this first. Because when you're looking at human design and trying to catch it on YouTube, there's not really a straight format, right? But if you knew what your circuits were immediately, and especially because I'm big on relationships, if you knew what your circuits were um, in um, in relationships, If you knew what your circuits were in relationships, Lord have mercy. We've all dated someone, and when we broke up, we felt like I wasted my time, I got my heart broke. Or we in a relationship right now and it's like, how do I help this person? What should I ask from this person? How can we work together? What is this feeling I have? Oh my God, it feels like I know them. It's because your circuits have joined, and there's a completion with this other person, or it feels like a part of you that was lacking is now complete. And so that's why I was like, brother, study this circuitry book so when we get down again, we can get directly into it.
Yeah, I definitely have to dive more into that. And Oyi showed you the book, and somebody also dropped it in the chat. So I highly recommend grabbing that book. Once I got that, it just made everything make a lot more sense because the original book I read was My Human Design, and it was a basic overview of everything, but it never broke down what those numbers were. Same thing when I looked at Gene Keys. I'm like, what are these numbers? What are these numbers? So that book, Circuitry, is the link that really connected all of that for me.
Can you ask your audience, like, does anybody, just in the chat, can you put on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 is you just heard of human design, and 10 is you're a master. Can you put that in the chat, everyone that's watching? And also, if you know anything about Gene Keys, can you put from 1 to 10, what is Gene Keys? So I'm not going to like go too far into Gene Keys, but I will talk about the brain today. And everyone knows that the left side of the brain is logical and the right side is more creative, right? And that is one thing I am about to show you, how to find that in your human design chart. Are you more left brain or are you more right brain? So the left brain is logical and human design is much more left brain, just overall. So meaning you could learn human design in like a month, probably. Not like to where super mastery, but you can understand the concepts if you really put a whole 28 days in it. Gene is right brain. It is more contemplative. You have to sit down and like there's no real answer. It's kind of really philosophical and things like that. And Keith, I was looking at your chart earlier today with some new information I just got about 3 weeks ago. I haven't shared with you. You're kind of like, oh yeah. You're the messenger. So,
Okay.
The messenger or the prophet, but they call him Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the messenger Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You kind of like gravitated to Gene Keys first.
Right.
It was more, it was more like philosophical. And I was like, that's cool, brethren, but I don't want you to get drowned over there and that. And then you don't know, you want to get grounded in some stuff too, right? Like,
Right.
so I said, let me introduce you to human design, where Gene Keys came from. Richard Rudd, who created Gene Keys, he came out of the school of human design up under Ra. And Ra said, take the way you see human design and create another system. So they are complementary. They can't stand alone, but they are complementary. I'm blessed enough that I love both of them. My teacher, who you need to have on your show as well, I'm going to hook you up and get you his contact information.
Sure.
Dewan, Human Design for the People. He doesn't really care too much for Gene Keys. He understands it, but he's just such a master of human design, and he's so nasty with it. I feel him. I feel him. So for people who are into human design, I would super suggest the Circuitry book as your first book. And if you are into Gene Keys, I would highly suggest the Blue Gene Keys book. I would highly suggest I can share my screen one more time. I'm sure people have already. I'm sure your audience is already on deck right now. Like, oh, I'm already got this in my cart, right? So this is the Blue Gene Keys book. There's a white one too. I would get both. I do have both. But this book will really tell you so much information. Now, it's poetry. It's written very poetic, but it's also a head cracker. It will peel you to the white meat,
And
but
so,
it will give.
so for me, when I read Gene Keys, I felt that it gave me a much deeper understanding of myself as well as the types of people that was attracting. And one of the benefits that I would say I got from it was it allowed me to be a lot more compassionate with people, because when you can understand yourself on a deeper level and then you recognize that most people or everybody is operating from this like unconscious level where they're doing things that they don't even know that they're doing, and not talking about not taking accountability, but more so the influences of the planets and energy. So that's something that I got from it. And then adding in the astrology that I'm new to now and learning is just a deeper level. So would you say that, because I know you're big on this being taught to the children as well. So would you say that it will behoove someone to, as they're learning this system and these systems, to also take their children along on the ride to learn this as well?
I see you've been studying, young Jedi. Ra brought this system down for children. Human design is, when they say Wu Tang is, Wu Tang we for the children. Human design was brought for the babies because they will be the ones leading everything after 2027. So after 2027, 2035, like everyone listening now, you're going to get older. Guess who's going to be running stuff? Don't worry about that presidential comedian thing that y'all just saw the other night. That's short lived. The people that's going to be running it are going to be the parents who learn human design and use it to really honor your child. I don't want to even use the word raise your child anymore. I want to say honor your child. I want to look at it like from the feminine perspective. You ever had like an emotional woman saying, "You ain't listening to me. You didn't need to listen. You didn't need to listen." Like a child is not going to run that, unless they're that little child when he was like, "Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda." I want to
Listen,
see
Linda.
he's the one. He is the human design one. She need to be looking at human design so she can, one, really have a much deeper connection and harmonious relationship with her child, and then let him lead the whole family to the promised land.
Mm.
Now, I know some people might have just clicked off and was like, "I ain't watching this no more. What you talking about?" It's saying in the Bible, wisdom shall come from where? The mouths of babes. That's a human design prediction. But if you don't understand the language, you're going to miss it. See, children come into this world with a larynx that's not developed, but their psychic powers, that's why their eyes are so pretty. You ever looked at a baby and looked at their eyes and was like, he trying to tell me something. She trying to tell me something. Yeah, you was trying to tell your mama that your name ain't really Keith. Your mama was like, I think we're going to just name him Keith. And you was like, man, my name is like, it takes 3 minutes to say. But your larynx didn't work. And then as you got older, you started developing amnesia because our parents had amnesia. And we
Mm.
started getting conditioned by what? Religions. We started getting conditioned by the barbershop and the beauty salon and the Ray and them on the corner, and our big brothers and stuff stuff like that. So it's very important for the children and your own future. Like me, yeah, I want the bag. I'm a Taurus. I'm 26 degrees. My birth. I'm a two of diamonds. I am the hustler's hustler. I'm the New York Stock Exchange, walking around in a physical black body. However, there's going to be a time where I'm going to want to rely on my tribe of younger people So the way I work on my investments is not through trading crypto and forex. It's by trying to is by getting this information out to as many people as I can in a very from high level to eye level. I want you just to get it eye level so you can say, oh, let me help my nephew. I showed it to you. So one day when you meet my nephew and I say he's a generator, you know how to interact with him, right? And I'd like to get into the 4 types soon too, to talk about the 4 types of human
Yes, yes.
design.
Let's dive into that right now. What are the types of human design?
Okay. And if you want to get some people to drop their birthdays in there, you pick one of them. I see that somebody was like, I wish he could glance at my chart. Maybe we could do that later. But I just want to tell the story first of the 4 types of human design. And I'll probably, this one is so people can kind of see it, you know. So I will go back over here and you just, type in human design types. And I'm going to tell you all the story. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. So, all right, here we go. Now I'm going to do this one here. All right, we're going to start with the manifester, right? The manifester goes up on stage and he tells everyone, he says, hey, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. Manifestors are like politicians. This is what we need to do. We're going to build a spa. It's going to be vegan. We're going to grow our own vegetables. It's going to face east and south. It's going to have solar panels. And we're also going to make money and be sustainable like this. And we're going to do X, Y, Z. That's the manifestor. His job or her job is to inform and inspire. So everybody write that down. Please, if you ever see me somewhere, make sure you writing something down.
Yes.
So
grab your pens and your paper.
Are you sharing that on the screen? Can they see it? I don't know if they can see it. Okay. There we go. So the manifester is saying, I inform and inspire. So if you're a manifester, that's what you do, right? Okay. Now he leaves the stage and the projector comes on stage, heard what the manifester said, and designs the plan. He designs it. He absorbed it. He absorbed everything the manifester said, right? He heard the politician. He heard the leader. He heard him or her. And then this is the architect. If you are a projector, you are the architect. You are the leader, okay? But you're a different type of leader. You're not supposed to provide the resources. You're just supposed to design the whole thing. And then the projector, after they design it, they leave and go take a nap. And then next on stage is the generator. The generator comes on stage. The generator comes on stage and says, I have the resources. I got the resources. I got the people that can build it. I got the money. I got the network. I got the electricians. I got the wood. I even got the land. And 70% of the population are generators, right? Only 20% are the projectors, right? Now, projectors, you need generators, and generators, you need projectors, period. We just need each other. This is why I say that human design can save the Black family, because we haven't figured out how to work together yet. And I make this statement bold, and people be like, well, what about different religions? Yeah, but inside the religion, there's still a generator and there's still a projector.
I don't want to breeze past what you just said. I want you to, can you say that again?
I feel O.Ye Sun's personal opinion with 20 plus years of experience, Pan-Africanism, Nation of Islam, my 5% name is Seaborn Universal Allah, Order of Melchizedek, a Nuwabian. I've been in everything Black you can be in. And the number one downfall of all of it has been we can't work together. We snitch on people. We try to kill people. We killed Malcolm X. We snitched on Malachi York. We did all type of stuff. We do it to our own people because we don't know how to get along, because we don't know each other's energies to respect. If you knew my energy and respected it, we would immediately get along. If I knew your energy and respected it, we would immediately get along. Because generators are, everyone has been designed, in all Black people since slavery have been taught to pretend they're generators. So our greatest projectors are operating in bitterness, which is the not self thing. They're trying to be a generator. They're trying to be satisfied, or they're trying to be seen. No, you're not supposed to be seen as a projector. You're supposed to be successful, right? Everybody's not supposed to aim to be successful. Everybody's not supposed to aim to be satisfied. Like, so that's what the signatures are with human design. What is your signature? How do you get in your signature and stop being frustrated? How do you stop being bitter? A bitter projector kills a community, but a healthy projector can save the world. Jeff Bezos is a projector. He stays in his zone, okay? He stays in his zone. All right, so after the projector comes, the generator builds it, and then the manifesting generator comes, and as you can see on this chart, there's no Manny Gen. So Manny Gens, you are a generator with a defined throat. You are a generator with a defined throat. So I will go here. I will quickly show you. This is a generator with an empty throat. This is me, right? To be a manifesting generator, you have to have, the throat must be defined and connect to a motor. So you see, your throat must be connected to a motor. Your throat must be connected to a motor. Your throat is how you manifest things. People who are not manifestors, who are not Manny Gens, who are only manifestors, the throat is not connected to a motor.
So, OE, let me ask you this. Now, on your chart, your throat is not defined, right?
That's right.
So, how does that work for you? Does that mean that in order for you to accomplish what it is you're set out to do, you have to build a team that has those numbers that you don't have in your chart?
In order for me to accomplish, wow, what an amazing, this guy just slid in here with an amazing joint. How do I get done what I need to do with an empty, undefined throat? What I do is look at the not self of my undefined throat, and I make sure I'm not trying to attract attention.
So break down what the not self is.
The true self is what you are, and the not self is what you aren't. And so each of these gates, each of these centers gives you a warning of what to not, what to look out for. So the open head, the not self of the open head is thinking about things that don't matter. So in order for me to accomplish what I need to get accomplished is I have to make sure I'm not thinking about things that don't matter. The not self of the ajna is pretending to be certain. So I quickly would tell somebody, I don't know, or I don't care. I don't have to be certain, right? And the open throat is, am I looking for attention, right? These are not my strengths. I play to my strengths in my chart to get done what I want to get done. Now, this is big what you just said, so I got to even stop sharing the screen and say this. This is really important about human design. Brother, would you rather drive the Maybach or ride in the back and be driven?
Ride in the back and be driven.
If you had a Maybach and you could ride in the back for the rest of your life, or you had a 911 Porsche and you had to drive yourself everywhere, which one would you pick?
Well, I'm gonna pick being driven just because I know me and I always got a million things on my mind and doing something. So I can sit in the back seat, crack a book open, send some emails, and get some work done.
In the chat, which one are y'all picking? I'm setting your audience up right here. Y'all about to learn the basics of human design. We were teaching you the advanced. Would you rather ride in the back or be driven, or do you want to drive? This is very, 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 very important.
Drop it in
Okay,
the chat.
drop it in the chat, everybody. Do you want to ride in the Maybach or do you want to drive the 911? Ooh, okay. So now let's take it to a bigger picture. Keith, are you a human?
I feel like that's a trick question.
No. Okay, do
Yeah,
you live on planet Earth? Do you live on planet Earth?
I live on planet Earth.
Can you make the planet go faster or make the planet slow down?
I cannot.
So are you catching a ride on the planet or are you driving?
Catching a ride.
On a big old rock moving through space, right?
Correct.
So are you a passenger or are you a driver on the planet?
Passenger.
Can you change that?
No.
Everyone that just said they are a driver, I'm sorry to like bust your bubble today, but I got to bring you into reality. You are a passenger on this planet. And how I become as dope as I am and all this stuff is I insist on myself that I stay in the back seat. When I was trying to drive, that was me being conditioned. I'm not supposed to ever try to touch the steering wheel. And we've been taught that I got to be in control. That's why I started Control Freaks Anonymous. We'll talk about that later. Because I used to be a control freak worse than any alcoholic, worse than any crackhead, worse than any pathological liar, worse than any narcissist, by trying to be in control until I found out I couldn't even make a butterfly land on my finger. So in human design, when I found out what I am, who I am, and how I am designed, I jumped my ass in the back seat and put on one of them NASCAR harnesses and strap myself in because I have a tendency to try to reach up to the front. Passenger consciousness is how you achieve all of the stuff. She says, I'm driving the 911. And guess what? You don't have time to study who you are because you don't trust the universe. The universe has been providing for you since 2 years before you were born. So whatever you were born, subtract 2 years from it. The universe was setting up everything for you to win. And it already had a plan. It was like, I'm going to give you a birthday. I'm going to give you this mother. I'm going to give you this. I'm even going to let you pick your mother and father. But the chart that you're going to have, yeah, she says, I'm a driver realistically. Yeah, but how's that working for you? Because that's like I said, human design can save the Black family. All this stuff talking about division, what women's supposed to be doing, what men, I need a man that's going to provide. I need a woman that's going to submit. I don't need anything because the universe already gave me anything. Everything that I need is already inside of me already. It would behoove me if I pay attention and show up as me and have a woman that shows up as her. And she knows that she's a projector or generator or reflector or Manny-Gen, and she knows her chart. And I show up knowing my chart. And then working together, riding in the back seat. What's up, boo? We both will get everything and more. See, I want to be in an and more relationship. I know you want to be in an and more relationship. I know all of your audience wants to be in an and more relationship. When you got both hands on the wheel and you are imagining that you are in control when you really are not, then you can only be led by all the stoplights, all the detours. You cannot explore the things around you and consciously make really good wishes from the back seat. When you're in the back seat, you say, "What's your driver's name? What's your driver's name, Keith?"
We're gonna go with Farnsworth.
Farnsworth. I'd like to go over to the organic farmers market today in Mount Shasta. Make it so. What? Oh, and then you just sit back and you get to observe everything from LA to Mount Shasta while you are just like, wow, look at that. Wow, look at that. Wow. Wow. Your life is filled with wows. Instead of driving the 911, you worrying about gas. You worrying about all this other type of stuff. Da 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 da. The one thing that was the issue when we left religion, when people started being so spiritual, is they left their faith in the Creator. The Creator don't make no mistakes. All of you are perfect. I'm perfect. Keith is perfect. We've been conditioned to say nobody's perfect. Well, we are perfect because our Creator is perfect and your human design chart is perfect. The only imperfection is you not knowing your human design chart or your astrology chart or not knowing your cards or your destiny. Why are you resisting the perfection? Why are you letting someone tell you something that is far from the truth? You are perfect, and everything will be laid at your feet when you realize this and make that confession. I have no desire to be in charge. I have a desire for everything to be provided. You know, the great Dick Gregory? Dick Gregory said, "It is an abomination to work." When we were in the Garden of Eden, if we use that story, all we had to do was ask. But now we've been programmed by our parents, by society, by the politicians that run us. They start saying, "Oh, you got to do this in order to be successful. You got to do this to be successful." They're making you look outside of yourself. Success comes from me relaxing in the back seat, knowing I have an undefined head, undefined ajna, undefined throat, and sticking to that. My three phrases are: I don't know, I don't care, I can't speak on it. My
So
life has changed since then, since I've incorporated that. Me waiting, because that's the strategy of generators, to wait. The more I wait, the more I get rewarded. It was very frustrating in the beginning. Somebody's thinking this right now. Somebody right now, I promise you, there's 20 people watching this saying, "I cannot wait. I can't, how am I gonna eat?" I got somebody right there. Go ahead, type it in the chat. I know one of y'all was like, "Well, how am I gonna eat? How am I gonna pay my bills?" By being your divine self. The things that come to you in divine timing, you respond to them as your true, authentic self, and money rains on you. You should be asking the question, how do you catch all the money, oh ye? How do I catch all the money when I'm in my design? Instead of trying to go make the money. No, let me put it over here. Let me put some in crypto. Let me put some over here in this market. Let me put some for my rent. Let me put some over here for my ownership. Let me put some to get my wig done. This is what human design is about. Riding in the back seat with comfort and ease and having a new life. Everybody wants to manifest a new life. You can be spiritual and still have the same old life. You can be a slave on somebody else's job and make that dream come true and still have the same old life. Human design gives you a new life. Really, it just uncovers you got a classic 1967 Corvette out there under the tree rusting. You just need to restore it. It's still a 67 Corvette Stingray. It's probably worth a few $1,000,000. Or a Ferrari. You got a 1973 Ferrari out there under the tree rusting. You're just not taking care of it. When you human design and astrology and destiny cards, all these things restore your soul. They reset you. They clean your eyes out. If you're 20 years old, for 20 years, people have been packing mud on your eyes. So add years above 20. I'm 54. I didn't start this journey until I was 27, 47. Don't be like me. That's why when I saw Keith, I tried to flood him with stuff. I wanted him to have a head start. Don't wait, bro. Don't wait. Take this information now and start pulling the mud off your eyes and seeing who you are for real. For real. And then keep a teacher. Keep a teacher. Don't try to go just, oh, I got one reading over here. And you told me, you better keep them, because once they find out you woke, Mr. Smith is coming. You want to get Matrix and be Neo and see what happened when Neo woke up. Even at the beginning of the movie, Mr. Smith was trying to avoid it. He didn't even want Neo to meet Morpheus. They knew something was coming. Neo was still deaf, dumb, and blind. He ain't know nothing about no human design, no kung fu, no nothing. Then guess what? They just heard that he was going to meet Morpheus. Even when he met Morpheus, he was still resistant. He was still like, I don't know, Morpheus. I don't know. He was the one looking for Morpheus in the first place. Then when he gave him the pill, all the Mr. Smiths got active. And that's your mind. Mr. Smith is your mind. Your mind will try to come and give you all this false information. Human design is not, it's to get out the mechanics of the Maya. That's what human design is. Maya means illusion. Mechanics is engineering. Some of you read Eat Right for Your Blood Type. I'm an O negative. Some people read Message to the Black Man. Some people read Ready, Aim, Fire. Some people read all these different books, but the decision has to come from the neck down. The problem is neck up. I love Napoleon Hill, but Think and Grow Rich? No. Wrong title. Remember, if you listen to the book, he was sitting there contemplating for months on what the title was. We're not supposed to think anymore. I know people like, what? So I'm going to take a pause right there so you can review the chat and see if anything has landed and if there's any questions right now, because I can go on and on and on with this.
So it's a couple of things. So you say you found human design when you were in your 30s or 20s?
No. What? I found astrology when I was 32, and then I found human design came to me the first time when I was 40 years old. Okay. And I didn't take it seriously until I was 47. And
so once you actually like dove into it, how did you see your life change from implementing what you learned?
It was like sex. It was like my first time having sex. What happened when the first time you had sex? Everybody was telling you all these things that weren't true about sex. And then as soon as I touched it, I said, I gotta have more. I have to have more of this. And just, that's why they say like younger men, when they be trying to hump on things, they press because they had that experience. So little girls, they be like, oh, she must be in heat. It's because that new sensation, that's your creativity. I felt like I was reborn. What the Christians say around saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost, it happened to me on the third day. I was in Atlanta. I was at the Land Trust with Baba Robert doing a silent retreat, and the whole thing clicked on the third day of the 7-day challenge. I ain't been back since. I ain't looked behind me since. Has it been frustrating? Yeah, but has it been more rewarding? I just got back from Thailand for the third time. I live in Bali. You've seen my life. Human design helped lead me here. I was ridiculously successful when I was in the States. I was doing a bunch of traveling in, but it gets better and better. It gets better and better the further I let the transformation happen. Remember when Neo came out that water, he was like, oh, that's what it was like. It was like I could finally breathe. You know what I'm saying? And now, anytime I get to a challenge, I am confident that I can just lean back into my chart. I still got the same teacher from 2010. 14 years. I apologize to him every time I talk to him for them first 7 years of me not like being at his house. I should have moved in with that dude. I had the means where I could have moved in with him or like been up under him all the time. For a long time, I felt like I wasted 7 years of my life by not having this information. And then I said, dog, you should have been more forceful. You should have been more forceful. He'd be laughing. He'd be like, nah, man. Nah, that ain't my design, man. He was like, I'm right brain. He's like, you left brain. He said, you the one that's strategic and all that. He was like, I don't have that in my design. I was like, what? He was like, I must honor my design. He says, I love you, but I must honor my design. And I'm going to tell everybody, once you start honoring your design, two things are going to happen. Your suffering level is going to go down and your hater level is going to go up. You're going to suffer less because you're going to be really into you. And then you're going to, the haters around you who see you getting better, who see you like not wanting to like deal with that anymore. They're going to see the change in you and the hater level is going to go up, 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 up. And what you do is keep walking. You're going to leave the wall of suffering. The people that you have now that you just don't know what to do with, they trying to keep you at the wall of suffering. If you share this with somebody and they're not coming to watch it, that's because their mind is telling them they don't need it. Oh, you don't need that. Don't watch that. You don't need that. What you doing listening to Monica? What you doing listening to Cynthia? What you doing listening to Emerson? What? What? Don't listen to them. Listen to me. Listen to your mind. Nah, dog, I've been to prison. I've been to prison. If I'd have had human design, I wouldn't have never been to prison. I definitely wouldn't have been into the crimes that I was in that got me into prison. And no way. I don't make emotional decisions no more. I don't honor them. I know how to handle my emotions. How many people just be talking about, women are emotional? That's a cop out. That's an excuse. It's an excuse. No, 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 no. I don't need to sit here and hold space for you while you cry because you're emotional. I need to know what is causing the emotions and really support and guide so you don't stay in an emotional low place. It's temporary. Those tears you're doing is temporary. Men need to cry more. When a woman says, oh, the man need to suck it up. No, she need to understand that's his design. Or when a woman realizes, you know what, you don't seem like you in touch with your emotions. He doesn't have a defined solar plexus. You ask him to get blood from a turnip. You ask him to get water from a rock. Some women, you want a woman to like nurture you more. She don't have it in her design. Just because she's like a natural nurturer, don't mean she's the best nurturer. She's going to have to learn that skill. Just because a man is a man, he don't have a defined ego. If you have an undefined ego, which is 80% of the population, a woman wants this man to lead her. Lead me, lead me, lead me. Prove to me this, prove to me that. If he don't have a defined ego and you make him prove something to you, you are now forcing that man to be in his not self. You're actually ruining him. When you're asking anyone to do something outside of what they are designed to do, you are killing them. I'm an O negative. I can't take blood but from O negatives. Keith, you my mans. I know if I needed a pint, you'd be like, my God, get that. But if it's anything but O negative, you'll kill me. Even though I know you love me. But if you just saying, hey, yo, give OU this pint. Give him 2 pints, whatever. Don't let him die. I know, but if you got B negative, B positive, O positive, you will actually be rushing. Your ignorance will be killing me faster. Not honoring someone's design is like giving them blood that don't work with them. Like people be wanting like a kidney. They need a kidney. But not only can you just give them a kidney, the blood type got to be a match too. So there's this alignment and everybody's like, oh, I want my soulmate. I want my perfect job. I want this right here. You're going to have to get into self. This is why we call this applied knowledge of self. Studying human design is applied knowledge of self. It guarantees happiness. It guarantees success. It guarantees plenty money. I want to say one more time, I'm from the South. Plenty. There's no T in that. Plenny, plenty money, or plenty money. However, all the things Reverend Ike is talking about in prosperity is in your design. How do you block your own blessings, as they say in church? You don't know who you are. Find out who you are, and the treasures of heaven will rain down on you. That's why I don't use the term "get it out the mud" no more. You'll never hear me say that. Rain down on me by Kurt Franklin. Rain down on me, heaven. If I'm God's child and I know who I am, then I can ask for whatever. When God doesn't give you something that you're asking for, that's a form of protection. I don't know why this didn't come to me. Because if you was to get it, you might kill yourself. You might unalive yourself. You know what I'm saying? Pardon me. Some things you're being protected. Like a child, they be wanting something, but it ain't good for them. And it's the parents' responsibility to do what? Keep it from them, and then teach them what is good for them. Right? So like a couple years ago, when we had all these shootings of the police to the children, to like, black men, what did parents start doing? They started educating their children on how to behave if they got pulled over by a police officer. So you could come home and be alive later that day. Human design is the same way. It gives you your proper behavior. It's your behavior that's blocking your blessings, and it's your behavior. But it's the programming of 20, 30, 40 years that that's been calcified. You can try to decalcify the pineal gland and the pituitary gland all you want. I appreciate that. I've already heard that argument. I knew Delbert Blair personally. You know what I'm saying? I've studied with all the math. I got all the books. The pineal gland, decalcifying it by itself just because you drink some alkaline water and you eat and you do a 30-day watermelon fast. Who are you though? Who are you? Because that's what my aunt is going to ask you. How do you make sure your heart is light and you have no regrets? When at the end of it, I'm an Egyptian adept. All of us are going to have to see my aunt, and she's going to ask you, why is your heart heavy? She's really not going to ask you. She's just going to take your heart out your chest, put it on the scale, and she's going to weigh it. And it must be lighter than a feather. Then you get to advance. Human design is good for your karma. So you ain't got to keep coming back here. Some people be like, Keith, I ain't coming back. This is my last time.
I've definitely heard that.
Have you heard that before? How many times?
Plenty of times. Somebody told me that a month ago.
How? How can you say that you don't know who you are? You don't know what your design is. You haven't begun to unravel your mystery. God gave you a mystery so he could watch you. God gave you this mystery so he could appear to you in bigger and better ways. I was studying human designs before I started dealing with the mycology and the mushrooms. Now, when I go in on a mushroom journey, or I sit for someone on a mushroom journey, guess what I'm looking at? Their human design and their astrology chart. I'm looking at where the moon is at and how it's affecting them on this journey. So we can come up with a strategy. Guess what? We can come up with a strategy. So when they come off this mushroom journey and they come off the mushroom ceremony and begin the journey, their life is improved. What did I say minutes ago? Everybody wants to manifest a new life. That's where I'm at right now. I want to help people manifest a new life. I don't want to keep talking about how spiritual I am anymore, because there's so many spiritual. What about the unspiritual people who they vegetarians, they young, they black, but they're not super spiritual yet, but they just want a better life. They want to manifest a better life. Jay-Z said what? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. If you got numbers present in your human design, you need to know what they are. When the numbers aren't present, you don't need to worry about that. Sometimes we focus on things that don't matter. I'm not insensitive to war in the world, but war been going on in the world forever. It's a distraction. Somebody talking about, you want to come over here and lead a meditation for Palestine. Nah, I'm in my tribe. I'm on here with Keith. I'm on here building a community right now to say, I want to help you manifest a new life. I had a podcast with my man Oluwu yesterday. How do we help people become, there's so much Kundalini rising, reaching nirvana, all this other type of stuff. Let me use my breath work for this. Do you know who you are? Who are you? How are you designed? It's like if you got a Bugatti, but you don't know, you ain't never drove nothing with that kind of power.
Mm-hmm.
You got a Maybach, but you ain't never been in charge. You don't even know how to talk to the driver. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't never had nobody be like, I will take you anywhere you want to go. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You are safe riding in the back. What would you like to drink? What station would you like to listen to? What movie would you like to watch? Where would you like to stop? Who would you like to ride with you? We've all thought that that was impossible. No, it's this far away. It's this close. I call it Operation Mustache. You know your birthday. You just don't know what came with it. Think of the Harry Potter, first Harry Potter. Harry Potter was going to buy his magical supplies. And he was picking up all the cheap used brooms and wands and all that. And the big dude was with him, was like, why don't you buy this expensive wand? Why don't you buy this expensive broom? And Harry was, Harry was a stepchild. He was like, I can't afford that. I don't have that type of budget. And he said, what? He took him out to Magic Shop, took him to the bank. He said, this is so-and-so Potter's child. Show him where his money is at. And they took him, they was like, this is the Harry Potter? That's how God is looking at you. This is the Harry Potter? Let me take you back here and show you. They took Harry to a cave that had gold that was like mountains of gold inside the cave. And Harry was like, this is all mine? He had been raised to think he was broke. He was raised, his father and mother had left him a fortune. Your fortune is your human design, your gene keys, your astrology, your I Ching knowledge, your cards of your destiny. So right now, I do breath work and tantra and all that other stuff. Now I want people to have a new life with more money in it. Everybody want, Coach, what are you about? New life with more money in it. New life with more money in it. I want you to see. I want you to pull this stuff out. And I'm going to make it plain to you. If you don't have no children, I'm going to give you a plan to get ready for having a child, right? Women are so afraid of getting pregnant by the wrong guy. Why don't you look at his chart? See what the match is.
So, you're saying that by us knowing our chart and knowing the charts of people that we are interested in dating can save us a considerable amount of time by knowing who they are and who we are. That's what you're saying?
I just said it. Thank you for the interpretation. Not knowing your human design is like not putting on deodorant, not taking a shower, not, not drinking water. Good gracious.
Like, see, I'm over here sipping my spring water right now.
I see you over there. I thought I was prepared. I ain't got my water. I'm just like, this dude over here got.
Yeah. You over here dropping bars. So you mentioned earlier, somebody dropping their birthday in the chat, and we'll choose them. So we're gonna choose one person to. What are you gonna do? Take their birthday and look at their chart, OG?
Yeah, we'll do something quick. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I just give you a quick rundown. I do 2 or 3 because it's just gonna be quick. I'm gonna look at it, tell them something, see one thing, and then maybe take one question. Then I'll do something else. It's up to you. What's the person's name?
So if you want OG to look at your chart, drop your name and your birthday in the chat, and we're gonna pick.
And you must put the time. You must put the time.
Time of birth.
Yes, please put the time or what you think the time is. That's good enough for me.
So if you want OG to look at your chart, your human design chart, drop your name, birthday, and time of birth in the chat, and we're gonna pick a couple people to look at. Yo, OG, man, bars on bars on bars. I feel like we definitely gonna have to sit down and do these Sunday lives.
I'm open.
Yeah,
I ain't scared. I want you to be clear. You see this over my shoulder right here? Do you see what this is?
Yeah, and that's something we got to talk about on a whole nother show, the dragon, because they don't
know. At least I need 30 seconds to talk about this dragon.
You got 30 seconds. Let them know what the dragon is, OG.
We are in the year of the dragon, and the dragon is the most powerful. The dragon is the most powerful of all the Chinese zodiacs, and it only comes around every 12 years. And the dragon brings the gold. Do you want to wait 12 more years for the dragon to come back around, or do you want to get on it right now?
I'm gonna answer for everybody in the chat and say right now, I don't think there's a soul in the chat that's gonna say they want to wait another 12 years.
Get a picture of a dragon, put it in a gold frame, put it in your house. Watch dragon movies on Netflix or Disney Channel. Anything associated with dragon energy until February 2025 will increase your luck. That's the fastest. Now, if you get a reading from me, I'll dial all the way in. I'll go in like Super Saiyan. But right now, the dragon energy is so prevalent and it can make wishes come true. Think of where you were 12 years ago. That energy is back. If you was 18 12 years ago, now you are 30. If you was 30, now you 42. Oh, I want to say this too. Anybody that's 41, anybody that's 40, 41, 42, you need a reading yesterday. It's a lot of people I can help, but it's some pressure on y'all right now. 40, 41s and 42s, holler immediately. 27, 28, 29, your Saturn return, holler immediately. Sure, I love a reading for everybody, but there's a link in the bio.
Check the description. Yeah, check the description. There's a link in the description to book a reading with OYee. And when I say that he knows his stuff, yo, he's on. What do you say? Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer?
Like yeah. But now I want to say I'm your favorite new life manifestor's life manifestor. But I am your favorite astrologer's favorite. I'm your favorite stripper's favorite astrologer. I'm your favorite doughboy's favorite astrologer. I'm your favorite politician's favorite astrologer. I'm your favorite millionaire's favorite astrologer. So
I love
who we picking?
So we got some people, let's go with Mandy first.
What day was she born?
May 22nd, 86 at 9:33. I'm guessing that's 9:33 a.m., Mandy.
That matters.
Yeah, you can correct it in the chat if it's not.
And what I'm assuming she's born in the US?
Atlanta.
You're gonna need your city and state too. So if you did not put your city and state, please drop that like it's hot. Because there's all type of places, okay? So did she say 9:36 a.m. or p.m.?
9:33 a.m.
9:33
in Decatur, Georgia.
Okay. Atlanta is Atlanta and Decatur. We close enough. I know Decatur where it's greater, boo. Don't worry, I got you. I understand. Decatur where it's greater. Trust me. I know. I was in the West End. Okay, put that up on screen. Let's go in real quick.
Boom.
So when you go to, I want to tell everybody, Keith is a little advanced, so he's been using Humdesk, but I want all of y'all to start off with My Body Graph, mybodygraph.com. Start you an account, load up as many people as you can, load up as many birthdays as you can find. That's how you learn human design, and really put all your exes in there. Put anybody who rejected you, anybody you're interested in, and your mamas and your daddies. Load up as many birthdays as you can, right? So now, in this particular chart, I just called it Young Black Vegan Guest, right? When you can click on properties, and it's going to give you the quick one. It's going to say, Mandy is a manifesting generator. She's a 2-4 profile. Her strategy is to respond, and her not self theme is frustration. Don't worry about the split definitions, or you can just type in human design definition split on Google. Incarnation cross. Your incarnation cross is what it is, how you are achieving your incarnation objective. And this is a little we don't have the time to get into your incarnation cross here. But today I'm gonna talk about frustration, satisfaction, and you being a Manny Jinn. Okay. And you are the 22nd of May So I'm gonna just peek game real quick and see where the sun is at. And so you're a Gemini, you're early Gemini, you're not on the cusp. You are not on the cusp. You are a Gemini. You just made it. You're a May Gemini, you're not a June Gemini. Okay. Now, as a Manny Gen, the first thing I'm going to tell you is stop skipping steps. Everybody on here, if you're a Manny Gen, quit skipping steps. And what is a good business for you? Writing SOPs. SOPs are standard operating procedures. You failed so many times, Mandy. I know you have. And then you keep figuring it out. You keep figuring it out. You keep figuring it out. Write the book on how you figured out something. Please listen to what I'm just telling this young lady. Write every time you figure something out. You figured out how to make better cheese fries out of cashew nuts and sweet potatoes. Write it down and put a for sale sign on it. You do have something to prove. You have something to prove, but you're not emotional. Most of the time, the emotions you feel are someone else's. A lot of the thoughts that you're thinking are not yours. Anxiety enters through the open head. Mandy, if you are experiencing anxiety, check your vicinity. Who is around you? It's probably coming from somebody else, not you. Watch what you say, Mandy, because you're a manifesting generator, and that thing can come so fast. So watch your mouth, okay? And unlike Keith, this channel, the 515, you are designed to fast. You have the discipline a lot of other people do not have. You can't make somebody have discipline. This 515 channel, I don't have this. So fasting is very difficult for me. If you don't have the 15 or the 5, then if somebody trying to tell you you need to do a 30-day fast, it's going to hurt you. There's other ways for you to cleanse. You could do a 1-day fast or a 2-day fast, but if you don't have one of these gates, don't bust out there trying it. 2644 channel. This girl is this woman, this goddess is a natural salesman. She sells something before she got the product in her hand. Matter of fact, I would love to work with her doing a collaboration. This type of person, you make a great executive assistant and you know how to sell. People just want to buy things from you. So I don't know if you know this one young lady or not, but I know she should have some money unless it just goes through her fingers real fast. That's what I want to say about her. And she's a survivalist, but she need to watch out for, like, in relationships, is somebody getting in with her in a relationship because they like her or because she gonna take care of everything. Mandy, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did I do in the chat, please?
Mandy, drop that in the chat. Scale to 1 to 10. How did OYE do? And I'll pick another chart on standby. We're gonna go with 726 Monica.
What is the day of the birth?
7/26/79, 4:55 a.m. Mandy said 7.5, but some of it might just be new to me.
No problem. Is she in Atlanta?
She is. So 726 Monica is 7/26/79, 4:55 a.m.
Oh Lord. Can I say "Oh Lord" on your show? Is it okay for me to say "Oh Lord"?
It's okay to say that. And she was born in Tacoma, Washington.
Oh, that's my man's in them out there. He out there right now.
And again, if you want to book a reading with OYE, check the description. There's a link in there where you can book your one-on-one, and he can really go in deep on your chart. And, you know, he's not just going to look at your human design. He's going to look at, tell them all the things that you're going to check out when they book a reading.
I'm going in. I also am a predictive astrologer. I want to say that too. So the reason that I go through so many different things is because I want to tell you where the money is at and where the transiting Jupiter is at in your chart, what you should be working on for the next 1, 2, and 3 years, how to line up. This is chess, not checkers. This is chess, not checkers, right? Sometimes like it's a better year to do real estate than it is to publish a book. So you should publish a book before you get into real estate. So I'm going to go all the way into your predictions. Anything that you really want to talk about or ask me, because that's going to be the first thing I'm going to ask you is why are you here? We're going to cover all that by getting all your information. I need to talk to this person. We need to talk.
She's in Tacoma, Washington. OE.
So yeah, I got it. Tacoma, Washington.
Okay, that.
We have a manifester who is an emotional manifester, solar plexus. Her not self theme is anger. Her strategy is to inform, and her signature is peace. And she's a 1-4 profile. That means she loves to investigate. Woo, she want to dig to the bottom. I like these type of people. They always, what book? What course do I need to take? But you have to be careful on how many courses you take because some of them you don't sign up for and you never finished. I didn't mean to tell your business like that, but let me get over here into it. This is a money channel, 4521. Like she got the money channel. This is 2 in a row that's got the money channel, right? Your throat, you got to be careful of what you're saying. You do have a chip on your shoulder and you want to prove everything, right? But you got to be careful that never make another spontaneous decision in your life. And you have her personal phone number. Please text her, Keith, and tell her I said, never, ever, 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 ever make another spontaneous decision in her life. Okay? And wait for emotional clarity. She need to get a tattoo and put it on the inside of her forearm or on her knuckles or something, or somewhere where she can see it every day. Get a dry erase marker. Go into your bathroom and write, I only make decisions from a place of emotional clarity.
She said, laugh out loud. That's me. You right.
Right. Now, this is a person who has an undefined spleen. So the reason I would tell her to check all her relationships, because she's been in relationships with people that let me just say it like this. She wants to be in a relationship with someone she can depend on. Right? Even though she's dependable, she wants to know that, survival is very important to her. Like a lot of these women that say, I'm a boss chick, they don't have this. I'm sorry. Yeah, they have a defined spleen. If you don't have a defined spleen, then support is something that you should say, hey, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to be supported by my community, by other people, things like that. She has the 29th gate. I need to ask her, she need to ask herself, are you being half-hearted or are you being committed? Like if someone has the 29th gate and you call me for a reading, I don't want to go 3 hours, but we might. Because I'm trying to keep it like 90 minutes. But sometimes it get kind of crazy. But if you got the 29th gate and you have it in the moon position, you really, really, really need to talk about commitments. And I would tell you to get the Gene Keys book and immediately turn to the 29th gate and read everything tonight. Just figure out how you can do that. If you ain't gonna come get a reading from me, go look in the Gene Keys book. Ask Keith, can you borrow his or something? Can he take the pictures of the pages and send it to you? And read all up on everybody's gate 29, because gate 29 is danger. But the highest level of it is devotion. So the lower nature of 29 is half-heartedness. So, and the gift of it is commitment. So we will get into that when we speak more. She had the ratchet channel. So ratchet means you have to learn like breathing techniques, because you be sitting on your emotions to the point where you wait too long and then they start popping off. You know what I'm saying? At the wrong pop off. That's not how, like going to the gym or like when you get up in the morning, do 10 push-ups, 10 squats, get into your body, drink some water, like expel that energy as soon as you get up in the morning. Okay. Yeah, and she's more of an executive when it comes to business than she is a worker bee. She ain't trying to do no whole bunch of hard work, and it's okay for you to take naps. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And flush the toilet. You got an open head. Make sure you ain't asking questions about things that don't matter. How did I do on a scale of 1 to 10?
Drop that in the chat for us, and we'll do. You got time for one more, Oye?
I got time for 2 more.
All right, bet. So I'm gonna pick one more. And Mandy, the first chart you did, she said, "I thought Mandy Jenny can actually skip steps." That's my one question.
No, don't you do that. Don't you do that. You're not what you're learning through the steps. What you're learning through the steps is the correct way to do things and then how to do it the fastest. So people may come to her and say, "Oh, she gave me a shortcut." She can give shortcuts, but she can't take them. Let me say that. But it's really not a shortcut because Manny Jens are the map makers. She makes the maps and sells it to people because she's been in the wrong direction so many times. She would make an amazing astrologer or human design reader or any type of divination reader. She would be dope at it because she has so much life experience. But no, skipping steps is not for her. She can show other people what the shortcut is, but she is not supposed to be skipping steps out here in these streets. Don't do it.
Got you. Monica said you got a 10 on hers. So we're gonna switch it up and pick one of the fellas right now. 7/21/95, 8/17, birth chart correction by Oye himself. So is that 8:17 a.m.? Discipline tension.
And what he's saying is something that I also do is I rectify the birth time. So a lot of times, 85% of people have the wrong birth time. And so the first thing we do before we even get started is we make sure you have the right birth time. Because if you have the wrong birth time, you're going to have the wrong information. So most of the time, what is on your birth certificate is inaccurate. And I'm assuming it is 8/17.
Yeah, and Providence, Rhode Island.
Is this one of my students?
Yeah, you said you did the correction yourself, so I'm guessing so.
Well, some people they just come and get a rectification and then don't get the whole chart read. So you can do that. Like if you've been doing charts yourself, but you don't know like if the time is right, I do offer a service where I only rectify your chart and then you can go and have the right time, which I feel is like super important. Like if you don't want to get a full reading from me, that's no problem. But please don't be out here getting the wrong birth time. All right. First thing we do, go to properties. We got a Manny Jen, a 1/3. Not self-theme is frustration. Wait to respond. And he's a sacral authority. All right. Let me say something about 1/3s. A 1/3, like that number comes from up here. It's the third number, 31.1 and 27.3. That's where you get your profiles at. Right? So everyone, when you find out what your profile is, please go look on YouTube. So just type in human design profile 1/3 and then hit enter and go watch 6, 7, 8 videos. Make a playlist. But one thing I want to say about 1/3s is you can't tell them nothing. And there's nothing wrong with that. They really want to learn by themselves. Not by themselves, but they want to learn for themselves. So they say, Oye, what's the weather like in Bali? And I say, man, it's like Hawaii. He's not going to tell nobody it's like Hawaii until he get off the plane, feel it himself, and then he's going to post on Instagram and say, the weather in Bali is like Hawaii. And I'm going to say, I thought I told you that already. You could have said that before you got here. He had to see it for himself, right? So 1/3s are super investigators and they want to experience things on their own. But once they know it, woo, these some intelligent people, right? But don't look at them as arrogant. Just look at them as they want to investigate for themselves. This brother does have the fifth gate here. I wish the brother would say his name so I could say his name instead of keep saying the brother, so I know who I'm talking to.
Drop your name in the chat.
Yeah. So he does have the discipline for fasting, going to the gym regularly. Ooh, he got that money channel. He got that 214, baby. So he got to be careful because the girls know he got the resources. The women know he got the resources.
It's Elijah.
Women, huh?
Elijah,
what's up? Peace to the God. He got that 214 channel, which is called the Keeper of the Keys and the Channel of the Beat, right? Gate 14 is possession in great measure. It can be one of the most frustrating gates to have if your money ain't correct, because you always seem to be taken care of, but you want more money. You can have it. You just got to make sure you are in your design. This shouts out to Kelly Lynn. I just saw her pop up in the chat. She said the 1-3 is the mad scientist. Yes, Lord. The receptive. The 14 is the wagon that carries the gold. The 2 is the vision of what direction the driver is going with the gold. But it's red. It's red. So he don't always see the vision as easy as other people see him being a visionary. The black, he got it in the unconscious and the conscious. Where's money at? What is this 34? Law and protection. So this is his in the gene keys, your personality Jupiter is your pearl sequence. So me and him in a reading, I would just dig deep into this 34, showing him how to unlock this, how to unlock his money gate. Everybody, your money gate is in your 30 is in your design. I mean, your personality Jupiter. So for I got to go and look at Keith real quick. Keith is 44. So Keith, you want to get in the gene keys and go look at the 44th gate today. That's your homework, Keith. Look at where the money at, right?
Reside. Yeah.
Where the money reside, right? And then we'll talk about how to unlock it. Just because you've seen it don't mean you can unlock it like that, right? So so this brother has the resources. He has an identity, like knows who he is, can pretty much make it in almost any circumstance. When you have an undefined G center, it's kind of difficult for you to be comfortable when you go somewhere. But Elijah, when he goes somewhere, like the comfort levels are high because he can just make himself feel at home. This 31-7, a lot of people on the are looking. He's the channel of the alpha. Like this is a true leader right here we talking about. Elijah, if people don't want to listen, stop talking to them. Don't force nobody to listen to you. You designed to be in charge, my guy. If they don't want to follow, like you probably got a line of women behind you right now. Just are you interested in them? And if they don't want to follow, they try to tell you what to do, that's going to be difficult. So ladies, if you're interested in Elijah, or if you're running into a man that's got the 31-7 gate, and you out here talking about you a boss chick, it's probably going to be some headbutt, right? So I wouldn't do that with Elijah personally. I don't know how he going to respond, but I probably would just leave that alone. So, and as the generate, you don't have any emotion. The emotions aren't yours. So it's not about waiting for emotional clarity. You instinctively want to listen to your spleen as it whispers to you. I mean, at your gut attached to your spleen, you want to be, because your authority. Wait. Summary. You're a sacral authority. So is or plain and simple. Do you like mangoes? Do you like coconut water? Do you want to go to Miami? Follow your gut. But this thing up here about thinking too much and over processing, that's your warning label. Like even the stuff I'm telling you right now, it's all good when if you flush the toilet before you go to bed. It's all good. Don't even worry about it. Because people with open head, they have access to the divine. These people are very empathic, very, very intuitive, pulling information. But the bad part is you can pull it from God, but you can pull it from somebody in the room too who's like selling you a dream. You probably done bought a bunch of stuff and somebody like, it may look like you naive or something. It's tough. It's tough for you to like, don't just lean on what you think. Like go down to the gut when you about to make your final decision. On a scale of 1 to 10, Elijah, how was that?
Drop that in the chat, Elijah. Scale to 1 to 10. Fury Road says, please do mine. So let's check out Fury World.
I'm just out here. Now I want to say this for the record. You are not getting a reading when I do it for free. So please do not go tell somebody, oh, ye did my chart. No, I did not. I'm just looking at some things that pop up. Like that was 5 minutes. There's a lot of things that can be discussed that I have not touched on. So please don't go and say, oh, you read my chart when you was on Young Black and Vegan, you read my chart. No, we call these samples. You're just getting a sample of the potential. That's all.
This is when you go to Costco and they hand you out free samples so you can get a taste of what the full meal is going to be. So this is just a sample right here.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Elijah said 12 out of 10.
Dang. What did he say before that? He said something about guys, if you haven't
he says, if you haven't consulted with OYE, I really suggest you do. My money gate is opening and I will be a full-time student. Everything OYE said is wow. Send your donation if you got a reading tonight. If you got a sample tonight.
Still send the donation.
Yeah, sure. And the information is scrolling at the bottom. Donations are greatly appreciated. This is an independent production.
What's the next birthday?
It is 11/13/81, 2:11 p.m. And I've never heard of this place. Have the Grace, I think the name is it, Minnesota.
What's the first couple letters? Oh, I got it.
HAVREDE, Grace.
What's the next closest city?
Fury World. What's the next closest city to you? Kelly says that's Maryland.
What part of Maryland?
What part of Maryland?
Just give me in the area. Is it Baltimore? Is it Upper Marlboro?
Drop that in the chat, Fury World. What part of? She said Baltimore.
Well, them instincts of mine nasty, ain't it?
Hey, man, you know your stuff. Kelly said, yes, these are snapshots. This modality is deep and wide.
Right. I've been studying the same chart for 7 years and still ain't got it all. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we got our first projector up on the building. All right, all right, all right. Wait for the invitation. So that was the piece too at the beginning when I was describing projectors. You must wait for the invitation. Otherwise, you're going to be bitter. Just going to tell you like that. Wait for the invitation. I don't care how long it hurts. But this is what you do. You get ready for when somebody invites you and put the word healthy in front of it. So write that down. Wait for the healthy invitation. My man is a projector over here. Oh, you know, Keita. Keita said this year he decided that as a projector, he wanted to only wait for red carpet invitations. He said he was only taking red carpet invitations and he's been balling ever since. Okay. What's your authority? Splenic authority. Ooh, listen for the whisper. So you are a survivor, right? You are a survivor and you are a 3-5. So you learn everything through experience. You, the person that's mapping the line, the landmines. You also have the 14th gate, and the 14th gate is the resources. You have the 29th gate. Are you committed? But you're missing some other gates that if you want to put a team together, right? But you are the leader because you got the 45th gate, right? This is half of the money channel. So you want to find somebody who has the 21st gate, right? And you are the big ideal person. Oh, now mercy. So
I
what
got
I
that
want to,
sharp to 11.
yes. So what I try to tell people around the 11th gate of ideals is stop trying to achieve all of the ideals. You will make much more money and feel better just selling your ideals. Sell your ideals. You probably have 20 ideals a day. You're going to have 20 tomorrow. Keep one of them, sell the rest. A lot of people with the 11th gate, especially in their personality, and it's in Neptune, you so dreamy. This person, I would suggest that you go to Dream U University, YOU, dreamuuniversity.com. Get with Jen the Rainmaker and start taking some dream planting classes, or look up dream planting, study dreams. But don't try to make all of your dreams come true. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's not you. Sell them. When somebody comes to you, you're supposed to be the dream interpreter, not the, oh, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. You know, and then it don't happen. And then what happens to you? Then what you become? Bitter Betty, bitter Bob. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Take these experiences as a 3-5 and use your experiential wisdom to give people practical solutions. You're selling practical solutions. You are selling practical solutions when someone gives you a healthy invitation. Projectors, if you just find one, I always like to do this right here. This is the best example. Oprah, Gayle, and Stedman. This picture right here. Oprah is the generator. Let me say it. Stedman is the money man, right? He's the manifester. He came up with the inspiration and the ideal. He gave it to Gayle. Gayle is Oprah's best friend. If you're the best friend of Oprah, I wonder how much money you got. Gayle designed the plan, and then Oprah executed it. She came in with the resources. The generator gets the lion's share, and they always take care of the projector. If you are a projector, find a generator. If you can throw in a manifester, it's gonna be even harder. Look at all these pictures with her and Gayle. And Gayle ain't even that bright, in my opinion. But guess what? She ain't gonna get rid of her. She's still riding with Oprah. Generator, projector. Projector, find you a generator. Generator, find you a projector. If y'all don't take nothing from this conversation, this two-piece is damn near unbeatable. Then you find you a manifester who got clear sight. Man. So it's almost like when you come get a reading, bring some other birthdays too. Like bring the people that's close to you and let me look at their birthdays too. And so if you looking at going into a business partnership, that's one thing I'm doing right now is I'm really big on the business penta. I just want to show that real super fast. Is what that looks like is we use human design to build businesses. And so we go to calculations and so I had picked some people, and we have some people, and let's say this is a squad that I was working on for a company that I'm a part of called Lumeria, right? And we're using their human design to see, do we have all the 12 gates present? So who's in charge of accounting and bookkeeping? Who's quality control? Who's advertising? Who's the sales department? Who's the strategy and leadership? Like, are you admin? So like Emma has 1, 8, and 29. So Emma is good for sales department. She's good for advertising and PR, and she's good for process regulation. That's all we're gonna lean to her on. Aaron is his company. He's 1, 7, and 29. He's strategy and leadership. He's process regulation, and he is in the sales department. So like Aaron's trying to raise $3 million for this company right now. He's turned down $20 million because people want to buy so much of Lumeria. So if you're watching this and you have a business that has different departments in it, please contact me ASAP, because I shine better in larger organizations or being on steering committees even than I do in one-on-one situations. And so this is and as you can see, when we first came to the site, this is a Russian site. So for those of you who like, well, how many people are doing human design? They spend a lot of money over here on this site to make it Russian and English. And it's a very, very, very deep site. That's why I prescribe this one first, because it's a lot easier to read. But when you do jump in to this site, it has so much more information for free than they have on the other on the other websites. I thought I had you in here somewhere. Well, it's okay. But anyway, on a scale of 1 to 10, can you give me, how did I do with the things that we did discuss? Projectors, like, they don't have like a lot of information just laying. You don't have nothing to prove. I can tell you that. And if you're not comfortable in a house, you should move. Like you should be studying feng shui. If your house is not comfortable and the energy is not going through the house correctly, your house is not going to be like a money castle for you.
She said completely accurate.
I love it.
So we're going to choose one more chart, and then we'll do 3 questions because, my man is out in Bali and I want him to go and enjoy this day. So I'll choose one more person. Say one more time. And get some corrections. Yeah, he jumped up and is doing this fasted right now. So please, if you want to support, all of the information is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. You can hit the super chat, PayPal, Cash App, and let's do one more chart. And then if you have any.
Also, I wanted to say this too. If anybody is interested in joining, I have a Telegram community, and I will show that to you after we do this next chart. And like it's a free community where we discuss moon magic, money, rituals, relationships, stuff like that. It's on Telegram, and I definitely would love to share. It's a free community, and I just definitely love to share it with anyone.
Bet. Is it something you can drop in the chat so I can put it on the screen, or do you want to just show it?
Absolutely, I get it. I drop it on. Matter of fact, we'll do that in 2 seconds, real quick, like we ain't said nothing. We're gonna do that. We'll do that. We'll hit that right there. We'll copy that link.
Kelly said, Yi is a Taurus and needs breakfast.
Yeah, that's the link right there.
Okay.
And see, that's what I do too. She says I can apply all of the information immediately. Like for me, when you get a consultation, I'm not trying to fluff you. I'm trying to give you something you can execute in the next 72 hours. I want you to execute. And also, all consultations are recorded. All consultations are recorded. And that's the first part of your homework, is to go and re-listen to the recording immediately. And you're going to take notes. You will have homework. Okay, give me that next birthday.
All right, we got Maisha, 11/18/88. Linwood, California at 6:04 a.m.
1988.
Yes, sir.
What's the time again? 6:04.
6:04 a.m. And so after we go through this chart, we'll have time for 3 questions. So if you got a question that you want answered, drop it in the chat now. I'll choose those.
What's this?
Go ahead.
Okay. You can go ahead and share the screen. I'm ready.
Okay. Boom.
What do we do first? Hit properties. Now I also have an academy, Inner Magic Academy. I'm going to send the link later over to, if you're interested in my Inner Magic Academy, you're going to have to go through Keith to get that one. It's $1,100, but everything is included. So if you want to learn this and say, I really want to be a student, then just contact Keith, send him a DM through
Young Black,
and he will get you the link personally. And after the broadcast, we'll also try to put that in the description for you as well. What's this queen's name?
Maisha.
Maisha, what's happening? Team Projector, please wait for the invitation. She's a 3-5 as well. Oh, she got the right angle cross of contagion like me. Oh, that's crazy. So I have the same incarnation cross. So I can jump right into this one right here. You are here to inspire people, and you're supposed to learn and follow teachers until you leave them. Just like me. Like all my teachers, it's like me I'm loyal to them. I'll never, backstab them or talk against them. But eventually I outgrew the nest. I become a great student. You have the potential to be a great student of somebody, anybody, 3 or 4 masters, 5, 6 masters, and then you're going to incorporate it into what you do so you can lead and motivate other people. But you got to do it as a projector. You can't try to do it as a generator. And oh my Lord, have mercy. You're an emotional projector. So guess what? Pull over, pull over, pull over. When you wait for the invitation, you cannot respond when it's emotional. If somebody's pressing you, you in an argument, and they want you to make a decision, come with me right now. You must decide right now. If you don't do good with deadlines, immediate deadlines. Like if I say, can you get back to me by Wednesday? That one I know you can do. But if somebody's pressing you, then that's not going to be a good look, because like I need your decision in 2 or 3 hours, or I need your decision in 30 minutes. Just tell them it ain't for you. Don't do it, because you're about to get yourself into a whole world of hurt, and it's going to cost you more to get out of the trouble than it did for you to get into it. You do have the ratchet channel. You are an emotional projector. Lord have mercy. You ain't got to cut everybody's head off just because they don't agree with what you're saying. Just keep it a buck. You know what I mean? And if you let your emotions calm down, you might see that what is going on is something that you need. Remember passenger consciousness? Passenger consciousness. And your emotional waves, I really want to teach a whole class only on dealing with emotions using human design. Like that could be a 3-hour class. If somebody's interested, tell Keith, I do that for like $50. Like, how do you deal with your emotions? I don't care if you're a manifestor, a generator, a projector, whatever. How do you deal with your emotions and others? The emotional wave is your friend. Let it go up, let it go down, let it go up, let it go down. Never make a decision at the height or the low of your emotions. Please, this is my plea. This is the person I got to ask please to. Please don't make a decision when you won the lottery for $3 million. Don't do nothing. You just went bankrupt. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Not nothing, but nothing. Don't do nothing. Okay? Your throat. You got to watch what you say too. this 2010 channel, the channel of awakening. You're here to awaken people. Do you have a podcast? Did you invite Keith to come to your podcast? Did you tell Keith you want to be a guest on his show? Like, you're here to wake folks up. You know, you're not here to like just look around and stuff like that. Like, you the leader, one of the leaders, right? Find you a generator. Hint, hint. Like, oh yeah, I'm always looking for healthy projectors. And oh Lord, you got the gate of feelings. Lord have mercy. I think you should just call me. I think we should just talk. Because like, yeah, I know your emotions done got you in a jam several times growing up, maybe until yesterday, right? Because then, like, we could take this chart and like look at the transits. So this is another thing we do, is looking at the transits. So the green is her chart. I'm sorry, the green is the transits, and the blue is what is in her chart. So we can look and see like what's influencing you right now. So you have this whole thing about you want more information. This is going on in your life right now. You want more information. You don't think that you know enough. So you're looking for a course to take. You're looking to ask questions and discover some things, right? Well, how do you take advantage of this, and how long is this gonna last before it's gone? Oh, it's only 8 hours. This is only 8 hours. It says, how long does it? It's only got 8 hours left in this. So what do you do afterwards? And how do you make a decision right now around what's influencing your decision, right? So how did I do on a scale of 1 to 10 for that?
Maisha, how did he do? Drop it in the chat, scale of 1 to 10. Yo, if you got any questions, now is the time to drop it in the chat. Oh, ye dropped nothing but bars. Fire, fire, fire. If you got something from this teaching with OE, drop a mic in the chat right now. Drop some fire emojis, and make sure you look at the description if you want to book a personal reading with OE. Guarantee that this was just like the bare minimum of the surface on what you're gonna walk away with when you book this reading. And this is something new that we're going to be doing on Sundays. This is Sunday Vibes Live. And so, if you've been following the channel and the show, the regular format is I travel around to different vegan restaurants and we highlight the best vegan food, and it's always going to be a nourishing conversation. Big reason why I do this is I'm looking at holistic health. So it's not just about nutrition, it's about the mental, the spiritual, the emotional, financial. So we want to be healthy in all ways. And so the reason why I brought OE on today is, one, to give you an introduction to him, because he's full of knowledge, wealth, and information that can help our community and us as people. And so he's definitely going to be back on the show. I'm going to talk about so many more things, but this is an introduction to human design. And if it's something that you tap into, it could improve your life in many ways. Your life could already be good, but more information is only going to make it better. So if you have children, this is something that you want to introduce your kids to, because you can save them from going down some pitfalls that you have been through. I know once I have kids, they're definitely going to be tapped into all of this information. Definitely going to be getting some classes from Sifu Oyi Sun. So tap in. All of the information is in the description. How to book a reading with Oyi, how to follow him, what's his handle to follow him on social media. Oyi, is there anything else that you want them to check out?
Well, I gotta ask you the question. What if your parents would have gave you this when you was 8, 9, 10 years old?
Man, I don't even want to think about it, but let's just say it would have saved me a ton of time, and I have no doubt that I would be a millionaire already. Like, facts, because if I'm looking at what I've been able to accomplish without knowing this information, And in the last like 2.5 years, a lot of different tools have been coming online for me, and it's fast tracking where I'm destined to go. So, I can definitely say if this was some information that I would have had, it would have saved me a lot of heartache, would have saved me a lot of wasted money, a lot of wasted time. I would already be living in Bali, you know what I mean, or somewhere else in the world. And yeah, man, it's amazing information. There's a lot of tools out there, but at the end of the day, it's it only works if you apply it. So, we can talk about this ad nauseum, human design. We can talk about astrology. We can talk about gene keys. We can talk about veganism and healthy choices. But if you don't apply it, it really doesn't matter. So at the end of
That's
the
what we
day,
call it. That's why we call it applied knowledge of self. Like
yes,
just to sit around and read all these things. Big shouts out to Mandy who just came in. Do I recommend reading Gene Keys? I do not recommend reading Gene Keys if you're not going to take action. I do not recommend you reading any books if you ain't going to do something with what you read. I want to say I have an extensive library, so this ain't a flex. This is just me, like this is just my online. Where my Kindle go? This is just my Kindle library, right? These books ain't nothing until I apply it. Most of these books I had to get a teacher. It's the book and the teacher. So when somebody's like, would you recommend this? Would you recommend that? Unless it's fiction, Children of the Blood, I like that. I recommend that. But you don't need no teacher. That's a fiction. How to run seminars and workshops. You know what I'm saying? Like Sell It Like Jesus, The 9 Insights, $1 million leads, $1 million offer, all this I Ching, all this numerology, Sacred Power, Holy Surrender, Astrology for the Soul, How to Write Copy That Pierces Hearts. I have teachers to go with each of these books. I have teachers to go. Yeah, integration is not an option no more. See this circuitry book? I got a teacher I can call and put him on speed dial. This Gene Keys, I got a teacher I can put him on speed dial. Numerology, I got him on speed dial. Word Magic, got him on speed dial. YouTube Formula, I got a millionaire who I rock with this. This Self Mastery and Fate is a book from the Rosicrucians. I am a Rosicrucian. I joined the order so I could understand this book. So, are you into something? Just reading the book ain't gonna get it. Ain't gonna get it unless it's something. Somebody I know the author of this, so I just bought this to support them. I haven't even read them yet. Right? These aren't like Rebecca Elon is not even the title. But if you're getting something that you are gonna be like, but I want to get deeper into something, you're gonna have to get a teacher. And when you're dealing with gene keys and human design and stuff like that, where's my now this may be a little, yeah, I don't give anybody any of like this is my human this is one of my human design libraries. This is my online like this is my human design library. This one crazy. So I don't even like I have a gene keys, but guess what? All of this stuff is because I have a teacher to go with it. So if you don't have a teacher, the books will get you lost. The books will get you lost because you ain't applying it. You'll just be consuming. And especially those of you who have the 48th gate in your chart. I'm talking to you. If you have the 48th gate, you will try to consume everything and not think that you're good enough. How do I know? Because I got it. I got all them dang books. Because I ain't think I knew enough. I'm supposed to just go execute, man. I got so much resources and so many things. I don't need to take no more courses. Once I found that out, I put a stop to myself. Sometimes you got to learn and get somebody who can help you put a stop to yourself. Stop one thing so you can do something else. Oh, now I don't know if I'm ready yet. I don't know. What about the back seat? Passenger consciousness. I was just sitting with this multi-millionaire the other couple of weeks ago. He has the same birthday as me. He said, going in the right direction beats a good plan and a good goal every day. And I said, what if I got a right direction and a good plan and a good goal? He said, you're a triple threat. You're a triple threat. But if you got a good goal and a plan, I'm going to read all these books, but you're going in the wrong direction. That's what human design does. It gives you your GPS. I'm going to give you, make sure you're going to leave me going in the right direction. You're going to be going in the right direction. That's the key. What they say, if you make a mistake, at least fall forward. Don't fall sideways or fall forward. Know when to pull up and rest for a second when you're climbing the steps. It's okay for you to sit down and rest as long as you're going up the right steps. So that's my piece on that right there. What are my thoughts on numerology? I love it. I got the 3 best numerologies on speed dial. Lloyd Strayhorn, Natasha, and Tyrane. I put them up against anybody. The number Swami, she trained up on the Lloyd Strayhorn. Between them two, ain't nothing. I'm nasty, but I ain't nowhere like that. So I love numerology. I love all of the systems. And if you get a reading, I'm going to go through your life cycle. What is your personal number? What is your what is your yearly number? What is your life path number? We're going to incorporate that matters in looking at your human design. Are you in a 4-year? Are you in an 8-year? You got to look at that. 4 is stability. 8, you got 2 more years before the cycle complete. Are you in a 1-year? 1 is the new beginning. Are you in a 9-year? That means add up your birthday, add up your last birthday. That's what year you're in. So my birthday is May 17th, 2024. 5 plus 17 is 22. Plus this is an 8-year. 22 plus 8 is 30. 3 plus 0 is 3. I'm in a 3-year. So this is a transition year for me. This is a year of choices. I need to know that, just like on a basketball court. Are you supposed to be under the rim or are you supposed to be behind the 3-point line? Are you a better offensive specialist this year or are you supposed to be guarding the rim and getting rebounds? All of these factors matter. Like before I got the Gene Keys and started dibbling in magic, I was just like, all I need is astrology. And then my sister Myra, if any of y'all on Black Magic 369, I know y'all know that channel, and Sister Myra, that's my first teacher. She says to know astrology and not know magic is like boxing with one hand. To know magic and not know astrology is like boxing with one hand. You need both. You need astrology and candles. You need rituals and numerology. Right? Astrology shows you when to do the magic. And my plea right now is please stop asking these people or believing these people on the internet about what they're talking about. It's like, especially this Mercury retrograde. So there's a Mercury retrograde calendar that I want to show everybody real quick because Mercury retrograde is coming, right? And it's coming soon. Right? The shadow of Mercury retrograde. I'm going to share. This is going to be hopefully this is my last share and I'm going to let y'all go. I know you over in LA, so I know you up. You don't care. So you can just type in Mercury retrograde. You can just type in Mercury retrograde calendar. And then you're going to go here, 2024. And you're going to realize that there's a shadow, a pre-shadow, then the retrograde itself, then there's a post shadow. So when we look where we are right now, today is where I'm at is the 1st. So if it's all white, it's all right. But once it gets blue, that's like the fart before you go into the bathroom. You're farting, but you haven't sat on the toilet yet. When it turns red, you're on the toilet seat. You are defecating. So a lot of people are going to tell you that the Mercury retrograde starts on August the 4th. That is a lie. That is misinformation. And that's what happens during Mercury retrograde. You get misinformation. Mercury retrograde starts on July the 17th. That is the pre-shadow. Would I get a reading before the 17th? Sure. Would I definitely get one before the 4th of August or the 1st of August? Hell to the yeah. Or do you want to go in this Mercury retrograde blind and you spend a whole month just out here lollygagging? So for me, that's something that I do is what very important transit is about to happen and how is it going to affect you? So nobody reads Mercury retrograde in a human design. That's why I use both. Where is the Mercury retrograde going to happen in your chart? That is highly important. Is it going to be in your first house? Is it going to be in the second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house? Where's it going to be? And then how do you respond to it so you can keep your wig from getting split? Yeah, because it's going to be some wig split. Should you stay? I'm just going to avoid everything. That's not the proper activity for Mercury retrograde. There's still things that you can do, but you should double check. Mercury retrograde is a double check before you speak. Refunds, reward, rewind, reclaim, remember. Anything start with the letters R-E. Keith, let's do a whole nother show on Mercury retrograde. Let's do a whole nother show. Why? Because it's coming. It's coming. You know, I'm like, I don't eat nuts. So one time we went to a restaurant and he didn't tell me it had nuts in it.
I didn't know at the time.
now that he knows, he would say, oh, yeah, that has nuts in it. It tastes good to me, but I need to warn you first before you order that. So that's what we want to do with this calendar right here. So stop believing these people talking on the internet about it's going to start on the 4th. That's not true. Okay, that's misinformation. And then what do? Here come another one. Oh my God, Christmas Day. I'm sorry, right after Thanksgiving. There's gonna be some fighting at the Thanksgiving table this year, at somebody's house. If you still do Thanksgiving, okay? If you were young, black, and vegan, you know, he might have something else going on that, you know, is more, you know, a little less ham, a little less turkey, things like that. I'm a spiritual meat eater, but I will eat a vegan dish as long as it don't have no nuts in it. You know, but I don't consume pork. And if I eat beef, it needs to be expensive.
Yes. Well, oh ye son, dropping sun emojis all in the chat because this was fire. We're definitely going to do this again. Going to bring you on so we can talk about this Mercury retrograde, talk about astrology, and so many more things. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscription and notification bell. Got some big announcements coming up soon. Cosmic Jedi on IG. Fury World said this was excellent, incredible. Yeah, so we're gonna bring you back on. That's all we got. I didn't see any questions, but all of the information you need is in the description. How to book a reading with OYE. If you want to support, the information is scrolling and it's also in the description. And other than that, we're going to catch y'all on the next Sunday Vibes Live with your boy Keith Terrell, Young Black and Vegan. I'm in the chat. Just hang on for a split second because I think it has to like hit 100% to save this. But other than that, we out.
Peace.